Hi, last night I watched the 1979 Australian nature horror film Long Weekend, directed by Colin Eggleston. It's the story of a couple who are having some domestic issues. Both of them appear to have been conducting affairs and are trying to get back together again with a long weekend break at a remote, deserted beach, seemingly just the ticket. They set off, but we quickly see that they are not the most appropriate visitors to the countryside. They run over a kangaroo on the way, cigarette butts are tossed out of windows into brushes, and they are generally careless and very casual about their safety and that of others. Arriving in a small town prior to reaching the beach, he asks for directions, but no one has seemed to have heard of the beach, and they wind up getting lost in the wilderness on their way there. Finally, arriving there, they find that it's, although picturesque, strangely threatening. There are constant noises from the brush, strange shapes floating in the sea, and it seems as though nature itself is turning against them as the nature of their own troubled relationship comes to the fore. I found this to be a very engaging, very compelling thriller. Maybe the best Australian horror film of the new wave period. Um, it's revealed that the couple have recently gone through an abortion, and it's very strongly suggested that the child was, in fact, not his, but his wife's lover's, whereas he also has been having an affair. But this this conflict between them is also mirrored in their surrounding environment. For a long time, we see her. Their names are Peter and Marcia. We see Marcia handling an eagle's egg that she's found until Peter eventually takes it from her and, in a rage, throws it against a tree and smashes it. The insides being red. Then they are later attacked by an eagle, and there are connections to the disquiet in their relationship and the disquiet in the surrounding area, though, as though they've brought their problems to the countryside, not just in terms of their lack of concern for their environment, but their psychic problems, effectively, and it's affecting the world around them. At one point, they see a camper van parked further down the beach, and they go later to visit it after it's gone, but they see a shape in the water, and it turns out the truck has actually pulled out into the water, excuse me, where the driver has drowned, apparently deliberately, and they find an abandoned camp with a wild dog in the forest. Suffice to say, they are eventually unable to return to civilization, with nature refusing to give them the chance of paying their debt. I found it to be a really thought provoking, intelligent, clever, um, atmospheric film that uses sound brilliantly. It's very cleverly structured. All the elements that are seeded early on in the film come back later, even if you're not aware of them being prepared. Um, it's beautifully structured, beautifully directed. The tension between the two main actors is brilliantly sustained. I thought it was a really exceptional piece of work. Um, Even though it only has two characters for almost its entire running time, it never feels stretched or strained. It's really terrific, and it really does show the importance of looking after one's environment when one goes on holiday. The country code in Australia appears to be um, close gates, pick up litter, don't start fires, don't fire randomly into the brush, or else.